Hey, welcome to the Paid Search Podcast After Show. I am Chris Schaeffer. With me is my coach, Jason
Hey,
Rothman. He helps me as I learn how to host a good show over the air. Jason, I'm learning.
good.
I don't have a good joke, but
Mm.
that's just not me. I'm not much of a jokester.
Straight,
Except
straight to business.
Yeah, straight to business. I like the money, and then when money making is over, I
He
I
doesn't
shut
talk.
off.
Yeah,
I shut off. Yeah. So for this one, Jason and I don't really have anything to discuss. So I think we're just kind of wing it and talk about
yeah.
some things that we find to be interesting in AdWords, kind of some things we're trying. Just kind of what's up in AdWords, what's up with Chris and Jason as far as in our professional life. We're not going to talk about personal stuff because that's kind of who wants to
I
watch
save
that.
I save that for the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, be sure and tune in if you have not listened to our latest episode of the Paid Search podcast. Be sure and listen to Jason's funny story he
Mm.
shared. It's pretty good. I got a good laugh out of that. Jason, you look okay. You look good. Everybody can see you now after your
Well,
your
that was
incident.
that was a
So
that was a rough day, but
yeah,
back to the AdWords grind every day.
back to making money. So what's been going on with AdWords? What are some new things you've been trying in AdWords?
Well, I told you about this a few weeks ago. I can't get over the experiments. They set up their experimenting in a different way, and now it's so easy to set up an experiment. So I've been doing that quite a bit. And I've also been testing, since we started our show, more ad copy on high volume ad groups. I used to, I think, test too many ad groups, and then that would discourage me from doing it because it's a ton of work. So now I just focus on high volume, and I've been testing a lot of ads and focusing on the experiment option
Hmm.
to try to, just see if you can make things a whole lot better, and if you can't, turn it off quickly.
Like, what's one specific experiment? Because I don't use the experiment very much
So
at
I'll give
all.
you give you a great example. Working with a lawyer who has a certain kind of service, and
Okay.
this came to me through an agency, and so I'm not talking to the client myself, and the client's service landing page is more relevant to the ad and the keyword, but the lead form, both pages have lead forms, but the lead form for the homepage is a whole lot better.
Hmm.
And my thinking was, it was driving me crazy literally for months. Am I missing out on a ton of conversions because I'm sending people to the right page, the relevant page, the service page, but missing out because maybe the lead form on the homepage is better and I could be doing a whole lot better? And it turns out, no. Uh, my instinct was the lead form would work better on the homepage because he's still the kind of lawyer they're searching for, but the specific service page that was more relevant worked better. So I
What you
just
were testing was the final
the
URL.
final URL, the landing page, and I just did a very clean test where, okay, we're going to the service page with the original campaign. We want to test out the homepage. Set up a test, swap out the landing page all at once, and then run it 50% of the time. And I did that on another campaign and another account for kind of a property management service. And it turns out in this case, the new page we tested worked a whole lot better. And
Hmm.
then we're going to roll that out. So I just know one of my biggest. I build campaigns so good at the start, humble brag, and you do too. You do too. But we build them so good and we know what they're doing that
Yeah.
one of my failures was, or not failures, but something I could improve on was I could be testing more.
Yeah.
So I build great campaigns from the start. So do you. We know how to get great performance from the start, and I think that discourages testing because you already have something so good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean,
I've tried to pick
yeah,
it up more.
that's a good point. Yeah, absolutely. You and I spend a lot of time in the setup. I mean, it's not a quick, I mean, there are accounts that are quick setups, set it up, launch it, done.
I wish I had those.
Oh, you don't even have those. Even the 300, 400, $500 campaigns, it's like,
well,
hey, Jason, throw me together a quick $500 campaign for, a month, and it's some very simple product
I
service. Nothing.
well,
You
I
spend
have
3 days doing that?
not 3 days, but multiple hours. Like
Okay.
2-3 hours, and it's like we talked about before. Management work is nice. It's engaging with your brain. You're making cool decisions. To me, builds are like I don't. It's just harder, more stressful work. So, and
Yeah.
another issue I have is when I do a build, I just can't not add site links, or I can't not add call outs. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
So
that's a guarantee.
I
Absolutely.
I just seem to
Yeah.
go extensive on them, no matter how small. But
Okay. Well, I've been testing the search remarketing and to differentiate for,
how many people in this country, Chris, do you think are testing search remarketing this week? Like I was
uh,
just thinking, that's why I'm glad we're doing the show. I'm doing the show with Chris because
it,
you are on the ball, because
yeah,
that is niche.
me and you and three other people around the US maybe.
Search remarketing. I'm very interested to hear how this is working. And
So
can you just give me a refresher? Like, what
yeah,
does that even mean?
yeah. You're a host even when you're not the host. Quit it.
Well,
You're just too good. Just too
no,
good.
honestly, like search. What does that even
So
mean?
tell me, what does this? He's just setting me up and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so remarketing, everybody knows what that is. It's you show an image ad or a text ad on the display network
Right.
outside of Google search. Okay, so the exact opposite is search remarketing. You show a text ad inside of Google search for people that have been to your website. Okay.
Question: do you still do keyword targeting? Like, does it have to
Yes.
be on one of your keywords?
It doesn't. You can pick whatever keywords you want.
Okay.
So let me give you an example. A very expensive door, custom made door, right? And it's the kind of thing that someone is going to search for a lot.
Right.
Let's say a company drives people to the site for you have 2 cups. This guy drinks his water. Wait, two, oh my gosh. All the different, so there's the liquor of oh wow, okay. Now he's with the coffee. Okay.
I thought I was gonna try
Clean
to.
your room. I could see the trash bag in the back. Okay.
I was gonna try to troll you by changing cups every few minutes
I
and
just
see
now
if you
noticed
didn't
it.
notice. Yeah. Anyway, so
Okay. Trolling.
search remarketing. What is
So let's say they have an expensive door, and someone is
right?
coming to the site. They're paying quite a bit to get them to the site for that door. It's not the kind of thing people are going to immediately buy. They're going to do some research.
Right.
So with search remarketing, it's targeted for people who are doing the research. You can be available when they're doing searches outside of your typical, your typical keywords. Let's say you're doing something for a screen door.
Okay.
Okay, you want to buy a screen door. I'll have a remarketing campaign for just, going to sound terrifying, but modified broad
Okay.
door. Never would.
Personally, I'm offended at this
I
point.
know. Never, never would you do that,
Right.
right? I mean, newbie mistake. Let's just advertise on door,
Okay.
right? Horrible idea. The thing is, these people have pre-qualified by clicking on one of my already qualified keywords, or they've come to the site organically. They're on my remarketing list. They've been to the website.
Okay.
So these ads that I show throw out all the ad copy rules, right? I want the name of the company right in there, right? I want it in the headline because this is a remarketing ad. They've
Okay.
been to the site before. They're familiar with this is a local company. So they do a lot of branding, TV, commercial, radio, stuff like that. So they're going to be familiar with the name. So I put the company name in the headline. That's another rule I broke right there. I mean, all these horrible things you would not usually do.
Right.
And it's worked great. I get low CPC because it's my own audience that I'm targeting against.
And it's like less competitive keywords. Like
Less
door.
competitive,
Yeah.
right? Because I can go after those really broad, strange searches that include the word door
Okay.
you know. And there's a lot of really strange things that come through, but conversion rate has been great. CPC, cost per conversion, has been really good. And it
And you have
it
this in its own campaign.
oh yeah, its own campaign. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're a Houston door company, do you have keyword? Do you compete with the other campaign, or do you make sure there are words that the other campaign won't show up? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do compete.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's any
There's
way.
not any way you could do it.
I mean,
Not
I
compete.
I excluded some of the high level stuff,
Right.
right? The stuff that I spend the most with,
Right.
and so those keywords are out because I want them to see, my other ads, but and also my bids are lower. That also inhibits my competitive competition between the campaigns,
Right.
right? So campaign A, non-remarketing, is at a bid level of $13.
Right.
Remarketing search is at a bid level of $4.
And I'm just thinking who this. I mean, this would be great for a type of service, maybe even a moving company, where you use someone and then you're going to need the service over a year later, but you may not think to use that person again right off the bat.
The problem is remarketing campaigns, remarketing audiences last, I think, for a max of like 180,
Is that
maybe
it?
90 days.
Okay.
You can't get them a year later.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Is a
Yeah.
year would be nice.
I don't know if the max is at 3 or 6 months. I think there's some ways you can do it longer in analytics, but
Right.
I certainly don't think you can hit it for a year.
Right.
I don't think that's happening.
So are you blown away by this and you're going to apply it to every campaign, or is it just going to be
No,
a tool in your toolkit?
it's a tool. It's
Yeah.
not something I'm using everywhere, but it's definitely a tool. It's
Right.
definitely a tool that I will utilize for customers that have longer conversion windows, services that cost more,
It's
but
yeah.
not for things like locksmith. You know,
Right.
it's a one-time service that someone's not necessarily going to use over and over again. It's
So like laser hair removal or LASIK, that's something you're not just going to find one provider. You're going to do a ton of
Yep.
searches. Yeah.
There you go. LASIK. I think LASIK is probably a good idea. Yeah. Big service, big expensive service. Going to, look at a couple different ones, do a couple different searches. Once they click on your ad, you've got them in there, or they've come organically.
Right.
And, yeah, it works well. Bid low,
So
focus on brand. Yeah, I think it works well.
what spurred that?
Ah,
You just woke up one day and said, "Honey, it's going to be the remarketing
yeah.
search
And she's
campaign
like,
day."
"Leave me alone. I'm still asleep."
Yeah.
But no, it was, believe it or not, my Google AdWords rep,
Right.
Allie, shout out, who holla, who said, I see that you don't have a lot of this for a lot of your clients. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about the search remarketing. She said you should try it out. I tried it out. I like it. High five. So made me look pretty good for a client that needed something fresh. So
It's good to have tools,
yeah,
and you don't need to use everything on one campaign. You just go with what normally works, and then if you're struggling,
yeah,
fire something up.
yeah, yeah. So that's part of my new toolkit. So what else? What else? Anything else that
Well,
really is on
thinking
the?
here, the last thing is I've been having a lot of success with my moving clients lately, like even more than usual. And the thing that I've been doing is having a disdain for keywords like movers, and really going after geo. And I've known that forever,
Okay.
but movers, moving company, podiatrist, foot doctor, whatever the niche is, those are so high volume that you think,
Yeah.
oh, I got to be there. But you turn them off for a week and see if you can spend your budget on the geo keywords and the more specific ones. And I've been pretty floored at how big the performance jumps can be. So yeah, just focusing on geo and kind of changing my mindset to throwing a wide net including some of those generic terms and seeing what works to just starting smaller,
Yeah.
and then going out if we can't spend the volume. So that's been working. I would say my big thing is I've just been trying a lot of ad copy lately. Just trying stuff out, and seeing if it sticks. So
Yeah. Yeah. Ad copy's tough. It's hard to stay fresh.
well, the way
Um,
I kind of changed my mindset on it is I stopped focusing at the campaign level. I just focused on the highest volume ad groups and keywords where I can get results quickly and make a decision, and then also it's a whole lot easier to test one ad in one ad group than
yeah.
300.
One thing I found for the ad copy testing, which saves a lot of time, using tags. If you're copying and pasting a bunch of ads and they have a lot of the same structure,
Right.
one has price in it, the other one has a call to action in it, and the other one has
Do you mean labels?
did I say tags?
Yeah.
Labels? They are
Are you
labels.
talking
All
about the
right.
colored thing on the far right side? That's what I do that. I put
Yeah.
one as the winner, one as the test, and I could even make it test. This is what we tested, kind of
Yeah,
deal.
I'll label it, A, B, C, D, and I'll label it across the entire account, and then I can just go to my dimensions tab, look at those labels at the ad level,
Right.
and I see tons of great information. I can immediately see across everything what has the better click through rate.
Right. I like that.
So yeah, makes it a lot easier instead of getting a spreadsheet out and avoid those things as
Oh
much as you
yeah.
can.
I,
Yeah.
As
So.
easy as you can make it, the more often you'll do it.
And I got one last thing,
Sure.
real quick. This was interesting. How much do you use that report tab in AdWords?
Never.
Never.
I've heard it can do cool things. I've never used it.
It's. I've been trying it, and it's nice because a client asked for a very specific thing,
Right.
and I was like, "That's annoying. I don't want to build a spreadsheet out and delete things that take me forever." So I was like, "All right, I'll give this reports tab a whirl." For the uninitiated, it's a new tab in up at the very top of AdWords,
Right.
and it's very easily ignorable because it's not right there where you typically go. It's going to be right there next to your campaigns tab, and
Oh, I thought
it's
you were talking about a thing at the top by tools.
no. Oh yes, well yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. Okay.
Home campaign,
Right.
that. So we both frantically pull up our AdWords. Yeah, yeah. I was one off. Home campaigns, opportunities, reports. Okay, quickly skip the opportunities because, yeah, right. That's a junk tab. But home, those you can ignore that one too. Campaigns, reports. That's the one. I've liked those.
So what do you use it for?
Just random information you can pull.
Oh, okay.
You can pull things together that you would not normally see in your reporting. So you could see all of your search query data based on a certain time period and cross section it or whatever the right phrasing is. You're an Excel guy. When you do a pivot chart,
Right. Pivot table.
right? Pivot table. Thank you.
Yeah.
So do a pivot table. Of different things that you might not normally see.
And it spits it out.
And it makes it for you. You just it's literally drag it in there, and it creates one for you.
I think I need to explore that because I get emails all week long where clients have very specific questions about what data did what, and it'd be nice to have some go-to.
And you can schedule it. You can schedule an email out. You can schedule it to push out to PDF, CSV. I mean, all types of different things. So, pretty cool. It's nice. It's not a it's not a huge tool that I use all the time, but for those little things that you want to dive into,
Right.
it's kind of useful. So,
Right.
well, that's it. That's all I've got. Thanks, Jason, for sharing your wisdom and knowledge with everyone. Go take out your trash, and we will see you guys next week.
Yep. I'll do that.